Multiple NBA scouts have declared that Anthony Edwards is the next Michael Jordan and a contender for Giannis Antetokounmpo's status as a top player in the league.
He's not going to be a star. He's going to be a superstar.
Oh! Laughlin to Edwards. Gonna go right through two defenders for the lay-in.
Now, before you sign off this video, we already know this is a far-fetched idea, but it's been raising some eyebrows to compare anyone as the next Michael Jordan. What is it about Anthony Edwards that has scouts and players claiming he is the next Jordan? Not many people have declared a player to be the next Michael Jordan, aside from a typical LeBron and Michael GOAT debate, but that's a whole other conversation. Throughout this video, we're going to walk through the rising of Ant-Man, take a look at why such claims are being made to see what all the hype is about and if Anthony Edwards really is the next Michael Jordan. After being drafted first overall in 2020,
Anthony Edwards from the University of Georgia.
Conversations about Anthony Edwards, aka Ant-Man, is mentioned to be one of the future faces in the NBA and even projected to become the best player in the league. He's currently a 3-time Rookie of the Month and first All-Rookie team, averaging 26 points per game. According to ESPN's top 25 players under the age of 25, Anthony sits at number 2, just under Luka Doncic. The 22-year-old has led the Minnesota Timberwolves to a 21-6 start so far in the season as of Friday, December 22nd, and putting them as the #1 team in the Western Conference. Now, being in his 4th season, he's brought the Wolves, who finished second last at 29th place in the league back in the 2019-20 season, to becoming a playoff contending team by 2021-2022 in only his 2nd season. The point is, for someone to be that young and making those kind of moves that fast is saying something. Speaking of his 2nd season, Anthony really stood out against the Denver Nuggets on December 16, 2021, when he scored 38 points and hit 10 3-pointers with a 124-107 win. Now, he's been compared to other NBA players like Tracy McGrady.
He reminds me of T-Mac. He's not as tall.
T-Mac we're going with.
He's not only recognized for his explosive dunks, but also the way he can shoot as well. The man plays as if he's been in the league for a long time. With all that said, it's led us to this topic. Is Anthony Edwards the next Michael Jordan? ESPN's Tim McMahon spoke about the rising star and mentioned how Anthony Edwards is receiving an extremely high amount of praise from an NBA scout who remains anonymous. Tim McMahon said on the Hoop Collective podcast, was talking to some scouts before last night's game. One of them said about Anthony Edwards that he's the next Michael Jordan. He's coming for Giannis' crown as the best two-way superstar. Further, when Tim replied that the comparison was a bit of a hyperbole, the scout said, "Yeah, but it ain't too far off." Anthony Edwards has already made an amazing start this season, averaging 27.9 points per game with shooting percentages at 51% from the field, 53% from 3, and hitting 82% of his free throws. Beyond scoring, his defensive playing has transformed the Timberwolves' game, contributing to their league-leading defensive rating of 100.4. On top of that, he made a remarkable impact on November 6th after being the first team in the season to shut down the undefeated Boston Celtics. He helped take the team to overtime and scored 38 points that night. We know comparisons to Michael Jordan is a bit of a stretch, and to be honest, Anthony Edwards still have a lot of time to prove whether this could be a reality or not. But there's no denying how much he's developed as one of the best two-way players in the league. The man's hang time is almost like Mike's. Here's a few examples. In his rookie season against the Raptors on February 19, 2021, by the end of the 3rd quarter, Edwards sits on the outside completely wide open while Jordan McLaughlin sends a pass to Anthony and then makes a massive driving dunk to the rim.
Anthony Edwards, that time he does finish.
He was only 19 during that game and he showed up. On April 3rd, 2022 against the Rockets, Edwards sits outside the 3-point with 20 seconds left in the 2nd quarter and then makes a 2-foot driving dunk. The explosion in the hang time in his 2nd season is putting this man on the radar. Let's take a look at one more. On November 20th, 2021 against the Grizzlies in the 1st quarter, Tyus Jones loses the ball trying to make a drive. Naz Reid picks it up and sends it to D'Angelo Russell, who immediately gives it to Anthony Anthony Edwards to finish with a 2-foot dunk. Take a look at how far back he jumps from to make this dunk. This guy's on another level, y'all. Comments on YouTube are saying he's probably the most athletic shooting guard to come into the NBA since Vince Carter. He can fly off 1 or 2 feet equally. Not many dunkers can do that. His body language, explosiveness, fearless in traffic is just like Michael Jordan. Edwards to me is the next Jordan. So what's all the hype about around this guy? When you watch Michael Jordan gameplay, there really hasn't been another player you could say moves quite like him when it comes to his explosiveness, hang time, and overall skill set. But now, fast forward 17 years after Michael officially retired, and there's a new kid on the block that has stunned people the same way Jordan used to. Anthony Edwards presents a balance of explosive athleticism and hang time that resembles Michael Jordan. There are a number of similarities between Jordan and Edwards' gameplay, such as the way they dunk, glide in their layups, and footwork, but a major one we're going to focus on is their ability to make shots while their body is going down. Here's what that looks like. March 5th, 1985 against the Sixers. Michael goes for a drive to the net and hits traffic, but on the way down, still makes the shot, taking the foul. Fast forward to February 1st, 2021. Anthony makes a drive to the net and also hits traffic, and on the way down, makes the shot, also taking the foul. It's almost like Anthony watched Michael's games and applied it all for himself.
A 22-point. Unbelievable. Edwards gets around Halliburton.
Aside from his dunks we mentioned earlier, Anthony Edwards also makes threes like it's nothing. With a confidence level like that, it's going to be a problem for the league. The fact that he can attack the rim and make buckets is dangerous.
Edwards. That's a threat for Edwards. And it is 2.
Not many players can be this versatile. He's becoming the go-to guy in Minnesota and quickly becoming the alpha among other young players in the league. At this pace, it's becoming clear that he's going to lead the league over the next 10 to 15 years. To be this ready at such a young age at this level is why there is a ton of hype created around him. People in the league are seeing superstar potential, and it's only a matter of time before those colors really show. Now let's go back to the question. Is Anthony Edwards really the next Michael Jordan? On JJ Redick's podcast back in March 2022, Patrick Beverly is convinced that Anthony has got it. In the interview, he mentioned, if I say this, I know you guys are gonna look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm going to put all that pressure on that kid. But I told him, man, you got a chance, man. You got a chance, brother, to be Michael Jordan. You really do, you really do. I've been around a lot of them, and the kid doesn't indulge in anything negative. Just all positivity, all video games. His talent level, his skill level, it's crazy. He has a chance to be really special in this league. Charles Barkley also mentioned, I always tell people the only thing that separates these teams is 1 star or 2 stars. Like every team got really good players. The difference is it's the stars. You know Shaq always talk about the others. Every team got others, but they don't have stars. And Anthony Edwards, he's not gonna be a star, he's gonna be a superstar. What made Michael was that he had the physicality and skills with an inner drive that would set him apart to make him one of the all-time greats. When you see Anthony Edwards and understand his background, you can see that he has a natural talent to be great. He doesn't need to put in the same amount of work that others do. He could pick up a tennis racket and be the best tennis player if he really wanted to. Growing up, he's one of those people who could touch something and automatically become great at it. That's just how gifted this kid is, and you don't see that in a lot of people. At the end of the day, we know this is a lot to debate over since Michael Jordan is argued to be the GOAT. Take a look at this next video to see if the GOAT debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James is over.